process with Matt Fratton on the second line?
I think they've been really good. I think that we look forward to seeing them in the next 3 games, ready to go.
Young guys too, Tanner Pearson and Tyler Toffoli. Can you give us an update on how they've looked so far too?
I think they've played good. I always think Tanner's been a little bit more consistent than the other 3 boys, but they're good players. They played well.
Back to John's question about Matt. What have you appreciated about him, and what do you think needs to still happen for him?
Matt Fratton?
Yeah.
Well, first off, he's exceptionally well trained, which allows him to really utilize his skill set, which is he's got really good hands and he can really skate. So those are 3 pretty good attributes to have coming into training camp and to start the season. And I think and obviously being a new player, to answer the second part, to be a new player, he's trying to fit in. He's trying to adapt to the locker room and adapt to pretty much a room that's obviously there's 15 or 16 guys that have played together for 2 or 3 years that are used to winning and used to being successful. So he's trying to fit into that.
The other day you mentioned the north-south element. He didn't.
That's clearly part of his game. It's very, very easy to see that.
He seems to be a player that, again, that forechecks and gets that puck deep. Has he always been somebody that, while he's been, whether from college to professional, you kind of had your eye on and thought that he would work well with you?
I've never seen him play until 2 weeks ago. So that's a question for Dean.
Ideally, if Dustin progresses,
Brownie?
yeah, would you want to get him into how many? The last 2 or 1 or?
Really don't know. Dave's
Yeah.
first day he skated.
Yeah.
Really don't know. He's a player that's clearly behind the 8 ball. He hasn't skated. He skated 1 day since the start of camp, and he's not a guy that can just jump into the game. So if he doesn't get any exhibition games, I'd say it's highly unlikely that you got a player that's ready for the season.
You look at Drew Doughty last season. He played with a lot of different defensive partners. Looking back at the overall season, how would you characterize just his progress? And
Drew?
Yeah.
Just based on the last 2 weeks, and it looks like he is very well trained and he's ready to go.